Now that our paging class is ready, we can apply our pagination to our index.php, which is inside of the pages folder. So if we open the file, and after our search equals array, we're going to create a new object called paging. New paging. Now we're going to create a variable called offset, and offset will equal object paging underscore current page time, our constant images per page, when we define how many images should be displayed per page, and obviously this constant is defined inside of our inc folder and config.php file. So now that we've got the offset, we can scroll down and we start with the statement which is with our search. So after our SQL, what we're going to do, we're going to create another variable called SQL underscore limit equals, and we take the copy of our SQL statement and concatenate it with dot, then space, limit of set variable, then comma, and then after the double quotes, we add our items per page constant to indicate how many items from which one to how many basically should we get. Then we copy this line and we do exactly the same thing for the other statement. So we add it right here, and then after all these statements, if we scroll down before the records, we're going to do records underscore all, and we copy what we have here equals this one, and the second one, records, will be replaced with SQL. So it should be limit, obviously a limit here, and then we're going to replace it with SQL limit, because records always store all of the records, so we know how many records there are in total, and records will only get this range from whatever number to whatever per page basically. So that's our first variables with the brace. Then we go max underscore pages equals sale function count records all, and then we divide it by records images per page. So this is going to be how many pages we get, actually how many records, because count basically counts how many records in the array there are, and then dividing by number of records per page. Sale is a function is basically rounding up the number, so we will know how many pages we will need. Then we do our paging. Paging equals object paging get links, and we obviously need to pass this parameter max pages to know how many pages in total there are. Now that we have all this ready, we obviously need to display this pagination somewhere on a page. So I'm going to copy the name of the variable, scroll down after our I++ and these two closing curly braces, and I'm simply going to echo this paging variable here. If we save it, now if we go back to our page, refresh it, you can see we've got pagination down here. Obviously all of the links are inactive, there aren't links, they are just span elements because we only have one image. If we upload another image, let's say this one, give it some name, test, hit enter to submit, you can see the image has been uploaded. We're going to add tags later on. If we go back, and now if we go back to our editor, to our config file, and change the number of images per page to, let's say, 1, and save the file. Now if we go back, refresh the page, you see the image is gone. Now we can go to the last one, we can go to the previous, but our next button, there's something wrong with our next button. So let's go back and check what might have happened in our classes paging.php file. If we scroll down to our generate URL get links, and if we actually check our render links rather than get links, render links next page, there we go. So it's a last, okay, we have last page rather than next page here. So obviously what we want to do is to do next page rather than last page. We save the file now, refresh it, and you can see our next button is now active as well. So next, previous, or last, and first.